It's fun to watch the wildlife come through. These are sandhill cranes and they're little babies. Oh, you're coming right up to me. Oh, you think I have food. I know, that's what it is. No. They say these babies grow really fast. Welcome to Tigner Adventures. We are in Orlando, Florida. Yep. So we have made it to the Orlando Thousand Trails, and
Big.
It is very big. So we're going to just show you around a little bit. I know that some of you don't like to see the parks and things, but others have said that they want to see kind of what's here. So it's like, well, you know, it's such a large park. I think we should share it with you just to kind of show you some of the parks that Thousand Trails does have are not just little tent parks. They're actual big resorts. So this is actually a Thousand Trails, not an encore. And we did book this out 6 months ago. So that was really nice. And you can only book 2 weeks at a time during this time period because this is the high use season, which is the winter here in Florida, which it is getting warmer.
Now it's too hot.
Yeah, now she wants to play pickleball, and now it's like, whoo! Especially when the sun comes out, it gets really hot fast. So anyway, let's check out the resort and just show you around a little bit some of the interesting things that we have found here.
Okay.
Here is a picture of the actual overall map of this park. So you can see that it's pretty big park, and we are over here on the this side here. It's called Hurricane. So this is H, and we're in number 65 in this particular case. We'll start off here with our site that we are in. Fairly spacious. Got some cool neighbors. Very nice clubhouse. They've got these chess and checker boards out here to play. Place for parking your bikes. Lots of parking if you want to drive over here and not ride your bikes or walk. So pretty well set up here for the amount of people that they have here. The clubhouse inside is really large, and over here to the left is line dancing, but they have other kinds of things that they're doing all the time. Little classes and things that you can go in there, or you can just come in here and sit and not do anything. They have a nice little store here, and you can also order food for takeout and eating. It's Hungry Camper, and it's open Wednesday through Saturday here. We have the mail room. They do allow you to have your packages sent here. It's a $5 fee for any of your packages to pick them up, but it's very convenient. And then down this hallway, we have more recreation area here. You got the pool tables, and you also have, you know, movies and things that you can watch. They do have this one room that you can reserve. Right now it's reserved for Texas Hold'em every night. There's a lot of people here, so everybody is having fun and getting to know each other. And here's their calendar for events that are going on right now, and also some general activities up here that are available while you're staying here. And then when you go out these doors here to the pool and hot tub, so they actually have 2 pools. So the pool on the left is for laps only. They do play music all the time. And then they have a hot tub over here. And then over here they have their play things for the kids, and back over there is the pickleball courts. They do have a windscreen all the way around the court, so that's really nice. So we'll just kind of peek through this little hole, but we can see there's some people out there playing. A lot of times these are completely full, especially in the night time, evenings, because they do have lights up here on the pole. So it's really nice that it's a lighted court. And if you look hard enough, you can see Ninette right straight in front of us. So she's playing with a bunch of ladies, and we have a few friends that we've made out here. They have, in this particular case, there's 6 courts. And besides this court, they also have another pickleball court with 4 more courts over there, so they can accommodate quite a few people. And then right here they do have miniature golf, so a nice little course, looks like it's taken care of pretty well. And then they also have a shuffleboard. And then this is something you don't see too much, but they have a little gardening area over here that you can, for those that are seasonal and hanging out and stuff, they can make arrangements to have one of these little plots. So that's kind of fun. And then a really nice pond over here to the left. So they do have ponds all around the property. And then there is a lake at the one end of the property that we will go check out in just a minute. And this is pretty cool. They have a cornhole court right here. This is just for cornhole right here. And then back here behind us, they have the horseshoe area. And this spot's over by us, and you can see they've got horseshoes here, and then they've got this game with that you throw the little balls around. I don't know what that one's called, but anyway, they've got that permanent there. And this is something I've never seen at a resort, and that's a bowling alley. So the kids keep coming over here. They bring the pins and the ball, and they play over here, have a pretty good time. All the sites seem to be pretty spacious. These sites along here don't have concrete pads, so that's kind of interesting. It's just gravel. And as we go through the whole park, it's kind of different areas of the park are set up differently. For example, this is the newest section of the park, all concrete pads. As I go through here, it just seems a little bit more sterile, no trees, and they do have a lot of distance between them, so that is kind of nice. And the concrete pads are kind of nice too, but it's just not that little homey feeling. And one of the big differences is everything is one way, so you have to follow these arrows, and they do have a lot of do not enter signs posted all over the place. And I've been told that it's set up that way because of the direction that the vehicles are, going to back in here, which makes sense. But that means that when I want to leave, I have to go all the way, to an exit point, which in this case there's only one. But if you look here, you can't turn that way to go to the exit. And so that you have to go all the way to the end here and then loop around to the right. And that takes you up to the one road that's exiting this area. So this one back road back here is the only one that I can find that has arrows to exit this area. So this road happens to be a 2-lane road for this particular section of the park. So it's still a newer section, but it doesn't seem to have the same restrictions that the newest section has. I mean, they're wide enough for 2 vehicles to get by, so I don't really understand why they have the restrictions they do. They have several retention ponds around the resort, and they have these signs here that there are alligators and snakes in these areas. We haven't seen any, but they want to make sure everybody is aware of it. And they do have a number of areas that have cabins. So if you don't have an RV, you can just come down here and rent a cabin and stay here. So here's another look at the cabins on this side. This is another section of the park over here. And I'll tell you, if you are not paying attention, you can get lost. It's a pretty good size park. Now across from that newer section there, we have this area. So I'm guessing this was here before. Seems to be a little bit older, but it does have pavement on the actual sites. So the sites have pavement. The sites seem to be pretty spacious. Someone said the new area, they were bigger sites, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I really agree with you. These sites here are kind of interesting, but they're pull through. You pull through, but you one goes in one way and one goes in the other way. And they just kind of work their way back and forth. So that's interesting. And it's kind of nice to see the big trees and make up the park too. But I don't know, what do you think? I mean, they seem to be pretty good size sites. That one's all sand, so we've gone into another section that's kind of gravelly. There's some pavement for you to park on. So speaking of getting into the park, you have to be out by 11, which is typical of most RV parks. And you can start coming in here at noon, and that's a little earlier than some parks. But it used to be that this was a first come, first served park. That's how all Thousand Trails used to be. So if you got there right at noon, you got to go pick the best site that you wanted, whatever the case may be. Things have changed, and the reason they've changed is because of this park, I think. So, you know, this park at before noon, they'd start lining up and they would be backed up all the way out onto the highway, and it caused accidents and everything else. They had the system down pretty good. They would bring them in as fast as they could at noon, but they wouldn't let anyone come in until noon, and then they gave them a number and they would pull down and park in front of the clubhouse. And they would just line up there, and then they had rangers that would put them in a golf cart, take them, drive them around the park to look and pick out the site they wanted. According to some of the old timers here, they had a really good system and it went pretty fast. So cool. Now it's all assigned sites, so we don't have that issue anymore. However, people don't understand that, I guess, because if you look at this line here, this is just after noon, and you can see they are backed all the way up out here onto the highway again. And so people are still coming in here, trying to get in here right at noon. They're not going to get any better sites. So I really have no idea why you would want to come and sit here for, you know, hours trying to get in through here. I mean, it was a mess when we were just trying to get out. And then it's a mess for us coming back into the park for that couple hours that everyone's trying to get in here. But I think this is mainly on Saturday, Sunday that they get so busy like this. But it's pretty interesting. So just understand that when you're going into any Thousand Trails or Encores now, everything is assigned, and you know, you've got your site no matter what time you go in there. So just relax, get there a little bit later, and don't have to sit in line for all day. When we came in, we just came right up. There was no other rigs, and we came in about 3 o'clock. There was no other rigs that were here, and we just pulled right up to the ranger station. They spent the amount of time that we needed, and we went on to our site. So that was pretty cool. So campsite, and then down here we have the lake. So this will be our final little area that we head to, but this is the actual lake that's next to the property, and you can fish at this lake. Now before you get to the lake, there is this section of the park, and you'll notice there's a lot of growth in here. A lot more privacy here than you would have in the other section. So we're guessing that this particular section of the park must be the newest portion of the park. I mean, must be probably the oldest portion of the park. Probably been here the longest, I guess. But it's pretty cool. We know that Tansy would really like this area a lot more than the areas that we're in, just because there's so much trees and bushes and everything around here for her to hide under and explore. So that's kind of the fun part of that. And you are right here next to this property on the right here. It is private property, so all those trees back there. But as we circle around, we'll get a glimpse of the lake. So you're a little closer to the lake over on this side. So, but Again, if you're not paying attention, you definitely can get lost because there's quite a few sections. When we looked at the map, you can see on this map there's quite a number of areas that are laid out here. This is what I would expect 1,000 Trails to be like. There's all these trees, and maybe as time goes on, the rest of the park will have a lot of trees like this too, but for now, the newest section just seems to us to be what we would just call kind of sterile looking. And then as we come out of that older section, we get a glimpse of the lake right here. Now over here on the left is there's some frisbee golf, and there's also a place to practice hitting golf balls. Over here on the right is a nice little walking area for walking your dogs, and a nice little kennel back here. Area that you can put your dogs in and walk around and things. Right next to the lake. So here's the lake, and look, it does say alligators, beware of them. And just look what we just found here. Look at this cute little alligator.
That's a cute little guy.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we might as well go ahead and close out this video. Hopefully that showed you around the park a little bit. You got to see some stuff. You got to see an alligator on this lake.
Yeah.
So they do have fishing here. It does require a Florida fishing license because the park doesn't encompass it all. There's a lot of private property on this lake too. So anyway, so thanks for coming along with us today. Hopefully this is informative to you. Yeah, the afternoon rain's gonna come through. Yeah,
Feels
it's
good.
At least it's not cold anymore. It's kind of fluctuating.
Almost, yeah.
I think this is kind of, didn't you say
This is probably normal.
Yeah, this is
probably
normal.
about normal.
Yeah, so anyway, hopefully we'll see you on our next video or down the road somewhere. So you guys take care of yourself.
Bye.